Hey everyone, Kim here, Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me. We are doing my September faves. And in addition to me discussing my September favorite decks, I am going to discuss and ask you, what are the decks you're planning on working with this autumn? If or this season, because I do know I have some folks who are in the Southern Hemisphere. So this season, what decks are you called to work with? So it's a bit of a favorites video slash what are we working with this season? So I hope you let me know in the chat or in the comments section. All right, let's go on and get started. Hello. So, welcome. I hope you all are doing well, and I don't want to keep you all up here too long. You know, we can get quite chatty. But anyways, if you happen to watch the replay, great. That's fabulous, and I appreciate that. So let me just try to remember back on September. I cannot believe 2024 is almost over. Like, where did the year go? Where did it go? Where did it go? And I don't know, friends. It's like it's already October that I'm recording this and I'm doing this live. How are you feeling about your year in review so far as we get ready to prepare for New Year? I am that one that loves to look at vision boards, loves to like journal and think about the upcoming year ahead. So I start that process rather early, like this time or November, preparing for my new year because it's like a huge holiday for me. I'm just making sure that I also thank my Poised Elite members. Thank you all so much for your continued support. We have been getting together in both groups, sessions a few times a month, and one-on-ones, and that's been fabulous. For October, my reading lab is going to be talking about tips on doing mysterious circumstance type readings, and maybe even exploring doing a reading together during a Zoom. And if you want to join me, you can join the Poised Elite membership. You can start and stop anytime. And you can catch all the replays of the past reading labs, past group meetings we've done. So that's exciting. And yeah. I got a lot of decks to show you all, so I don't want to delay too much. I'm just making sure I get through all my announcements. And I'm still planning our little get together, our little late night. You can join me if you want, and you can join me in your jammies as long as they're not too risque. I want to do something like that, like an adult virtual slumber party. Hi, friends. Hi, Ange. I'm just rambling, not even checking the comment section. Oh, my goodness. Hi. How are you doing, my friend? Jonathan, aloha. Hello, Donna. Welcome. I'm happy you're here. I'm happy my friends are here, my peeps. So, I did pose a question to you all. What decks are you planning or you're inspired to really work with this season? I'm going to just show and tell and chit chat with you all on the decks that I want to get into this autumn season. And let me do that. I got to go look at my list so I can stay on top of it. Okay. So the decks that I plan on working with, we'll start with the Oracle first. Let's start with the Oracle because I have more tarot decks I want to talk about. But it is a given that I'm going to work with this one, Stacey DeMarco's The Halloween Oracle, lifting the veil between the worlds every night. Now, There was a time I used this deck even like year round, not just Halloween. But over the years, as the collection grew, that didn't happen so much. So, but I do like using it this time of year. I think it makes it a little sweeter to have decks that you work with, for certain seasons or holidays or things like that. I'm still on the hunt for a really good Yuletide deck. I know there's decks out there and I've been looking at them, but I'm very picky about the holiday edition tarot deck that I would work with. I think I found one, but I haven't gotten it yet. So if you have any recommendations for like Christmas or Yuletide Oracle and Tarot decks, I'm all ears. But so it's got a little guidebook. This is Blue Angel. Let's do a little show and tell. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love pomegranate. The underworld, where are things pause? The underworld, where all things pause and begin again. I don't remember this card. Like, I would remember that too. Next time, like, oh, the underworld. Zombie. Skull of Stars. Isn't that gorgeous? Infinite possibilities. Mummy is change. Late autumn going into winter. I like this. The winter card is what I add to it. It's like, okay. It says the sacredness of pausing. Eternal love. Love is love. It says love is love is love. And it transcends physical death. Isn't that cool? Oh, trick or treat. So definitely I'm going to be using this deck. And because I do client readings, I can see myself using this deck this time of year and having fun with it, doing something new, and the clients appreciating a little touch of holiday cheer. Skeleton. What does that say? Strength. The veil. I love, 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 love. Love this deck. It's like I'm looking at it with new eyes. I guess more experienced eyes. Nice song. Nice song. So we'll stop there. But maybe, you know what? I'm going to be doing readings at some point on the channel and visiting Scott with Scorpio Sun Tarot on the 21st of October. So maybe I might use some of these like decks, these Halloween themed decks. This one would go on the top of the list. That is the Halloween Oracle, and that is one that I'm planning on getting into for October and November and probably early December before we hit winter. Let's see, friends. Let's see. Hi. 2024 is a big... That's right. That is correct. It has been, they've labeled it the year of exposure. What else have they labeled it? What are some different themes that have been attached to the year 2024? That's the one I offer, the year of exposure. It's been a lot. And then there's a lot of turmoil going on, like globally, in some of the usual spots that there's a lot going on and it's really scary. So I don't know, y'all. We in this together. So yeah, we in this ish together. This year has gone by so fast. I know it's like, pew, pew. My head is spinning. My head is spinning. I was going through my autumn decks earlier this afternoon. Look, we in sync. We're in sync. Hi, Elle. How are you? Thank you for joining. The lovely peoples. Yes, we are. So, okay, so that is the one I was thinking about that's like at the top of my list. And it's good to hear that you love it. Like, do you pull it out every holiday season? How do you work with this deck? Do you work with it with clients, like just for yourself? Um, yeah, I want the details. It looks like a deck I could work with. And it's Llewellyn, I believe. So yeah, yeah. Okay, so the trick or treat. I almost feel like I need like both of those, like that one for Halloween and then Yuletide for Christmas. And that is also another Llewellyn published deck, the trick or treat Tarot. It's modern, it's cute. It's not, I don't think it's too scary. Y'all have to let me know. Yeah, the Halloween Oracle, that's another one that I think that it's near and dear. People love it, but I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it in a number of years. But I'm not all in anymore with watching a lot of videos on decks. Yeah. So I'm not always in the know. Y'all are usually informing me, and then I broadcast it to the masses. You're like, oh, this deck is coming out. I'm like, really? Whereas I used to pride myself on like knowing what was happening, what's coming up. Now I'm kind of in the dark. It is cute. It gives me nostalgia thinking about when I was a kid growing up in the Bay Area and trick or treating and it just with my friends, and I felt like a big grown up just wandering the streets trick or treating, I don't know. Sweet little memories. I only got it last year because I was doing a Christmas party readings and everybody loved it. Yeah, it's that too has a nostalgic feel for me. Hey, my friend, welcome. Thank you for joining. Ahoy, mateys. Yes. Oh, a bourbon, some popcorn. Me likes. Okay, Donna says for October, I'll definitely be working with the jack-o'-lantern. That one's also on my Amazon wish list. I keep like decks that don't always make my main wish list that I keep a spreadsheet on. Like those, when they hit that spreadsheet, that's like, okay, that they've been initiated. But that jack-o'-lantern one was also added to my Amazon wish list recently because of course, I'm thinking about the holidays and stuff like that. Jack-o'-lantern, the Halloween tarot. Okay. Tarot Z. Ooh, zombie oracle. That I want to get still. That is on my list, I believe. My spreadsheet list. Seasons of the Witch, Mabon, and Samhain oracles. Cool. I'll check those out too. Probably the Crow Tarot and Oracle. And I don't have the Crow, but I have a different one. I was gifted the Crow's Magic Tarot. Not same vibe, but Crow. And when I associate crows for some reason with Halloween. I do. So, that's an interesting one. It's out of print, I believe. It was gifted to me many moons ago. I need to work with it. Hear that? Oh yeah, I need to work with this. So interesting. This is why I want to have our little late night slumber party. We're gonna be like looking at our decks that we never touch and looking at it because it's a trip when you come back and look at a deck you haven't worked with or even touched in a long time or even opened. There's some still in the cellophane wrapper. Four of Wands, stamina and potency. I know it's out of print. I'm gonna show y'all anyway. Card backs. You just reminded me though, Donna. I was like, oh, I like crows. So I wanna work with some crow energy. Six of Swords, navigate progress. So it's got the keywords, partially illustrated, but mostly pippish, this deck. I am really liking this. I don't know. I think I might have used this deck once after it was gifted, but because it went out of print, I was like very tender-handed with it. I didn't want to use it. And then you end up not using it at all. That's what happens, right? The Hierophant, Sage, Mentor. This is so interesting. The Fox is on here. Two of Wands, enterprising and bold. I love the color palette. I guess I do have an animal tarot deck. The Empress, conception and intuition. Yeah. All right. I think I might bust this one out today. Some of it's in reverse. I got to turn them up right. Here's the moon. Lunacy, delusion. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to work with that one. I have just a little white book. Who publishes this? U.S. Games. Where are you? Crow's Magic Tarot. White book. In case it comes back in print. I don't know if whenever you watch this video, I'll tag it. So in case somebody's like, oh yeah, that deck came back into print. Oh, cool. You know, that happens. I get notified of someone leaving a comment on a really old video and they're like, it's now in print. I'm like, oh, cool. Thank you for letting us know. Hell, in the 90s, our neighbors used to go all out decorating their houses on Halloween. Isn't that the best? It was like the adults like getting all like into it. I loved it. And I was fortunate to live in communities that embraced Halloween and made it fun for the kids, made it fun not just for the little kids, but they would do elaborate haunted houses where I came from in Sacramento County, California. And these crazy, kind of scary haunted houses. And I enjoyed them because I love a good haunted house experience. But then what I also started to notice in the years as I got older is less and less people were engaging in doing Halloween. I don't know if it was also because there was more of an influx of people who into the neighborhoods who didn't really care for Halloween, maybe religious reasons. I don't know, but it just kind of shifted. But I'll always hold on to those sweet memories. And every year, taking my kids trick or treating, or I stayed back and handed out candy, and yeah, I miss it. They do a little something out here. The expats do, and they do kind of celebrate Halloween a little bit out here, but it's not like it is in the United States. Ooh, I agree. I agree. My neighborhood goes off. You telling us they go off for Halloween. Last year, I think we gave out 800 to 1,000 pieces of candy to 900 plus kids. Oh yeah, y'all go off. Y'all do. We would be like, okay, we're not going to spend no more than $100 on candy. That's my budget. First, it was like $60. And then I was like, no, that's enough. That's not enough. Cause then I got to go back and run and get some more candy, and then it's hit or miss at what's left of in the stores on Halloween. So it's like, no. But then it started turning into my husband would spend that amount. I'm spending that amount. My parents, was in a similar neighborhood, not too far from us. They spent a lot of money. I mean, it's an investment. And I can only imagine how it is now, like how expensive it is. I hear food has like exponentially gone up, the cost of food. Here it's gone up and not nearly as drastic from what I'm understanding. But we loved it. I love giving out candy. I used to be sad when I run out and I have to turn my light off. But then kind of relieved because it's like I'm getting into like a good like scary movie or a good movie or a thriller or watching American Horror Story or something on the couch, getting all cozy. And here comes some straggler kid, ding dong, and it's like ain't it like 9:30 or 10 o'clock? And so then you go and you give them some candy or whatever. But I'd be kind of sad too, because if I could supply all of the kids, I would. Oh, no. But it was legendary. I had my friend's mom, and I stayed with them for a little while. She worked for Ghirardelli Chocolate Factory, and she would bring home candy all the time. So we get our fill. We get our fill. But we heard about it. I never got to go. Probably by the time I would be going is when we relocated from the San Francisco Bay Area to the state capital region of California, Sacramento, was in 1996 to 97. That would be when I'd be driving my little stuff around town. But we moved. And so, yeah, didn't get a chance yet. I could still go, I think, if they're still open. You know, a lot of them factories, like, what's the name of that bread company? Was it Hostess? I don't know. A lot of them factories closed down, which made me sad. I don't think I've seen the Crow Deck before. I know. Yeah, it's different, and it's not going to be everybody's bag. But there are times when I'm called to use more pip-ish decks. And I'm just looking at this for the first time. I'm like, and it's an animal deck, no less. But I like it. Strange. Seven of Wands, persevere, endure. Look at the little ooh, they don't have raccoons out here, but they have them in California where we live. Like, oh my God, they big, huge. They kind of scare me. Them and possums. I'm trying to see. I thought I saw the devil. And I learned that yesterday that there's boa constrictors here, but they're just Dominican boa constrictors, and they're only indigenous or native to here. And they're very rare, and people try to come and get them. And I'm like, boa constrictor just running around? The devil. Kind of freaky, right? Not the card, but the boa constrictors. The devil, magnetism, lure. Those are the keywords. Oh, I like the word lure. I like this deck. You see what I'm saying? Oh, one more. I need to do a flip through. I don't know if I did one. I might have recorded and never published it. That is a thing over here. Sorry. I got a lot of videos I never published. Three of Swords. I am so into this. Pain and grief. So into it. Okay. I'll stop because I got other decks to show you before I let you go. Before I say, all right, friends, let's see what's happening in the chat. I know, right? That definitely is way well and above what is going on in my neck of the woods. Jonathan has us beat, I'm sure. I have the Crown Tarot. Is it Crow or probably the Crow? Murder of Crows Tarot limited edition. That's one of the ones I wanted. Raven's Dream Tarot and the Urban Crow Oracle. I'm a big Crowbit fan. It's part of my name. Oh, Dracovid. That's right. Oh, we learned a little something about you. Okay. I didn't know what to expect here in France. I don't think that they really trick or treat, but they are into the decorations a bit more than I would have expected. Exactly, Donna. That's similar to here. It's like, I don't think they trick or treat. I think that's Well, I don't know, actually. Let me not speak on other Western countries. I don't know. But I know in the US is a thing. But here, not so much. They might have a little Halloween party. They're gonna decorate. They're into decorating. And for Christmas, they get started early, which is cool. Um, but yeah, I don't really see the trick or treat. And I don't know if I want my daughter to trick or treat. She's a little old to be trick or treating now. But we trick when I was growing up in the Bay, we were trick or treating at 14 and 15 years old. What? Yeah, we were. Neat Deck love the red and black backs. Ooh, Neat Deck love the red and black backs. I do too. I'm gonna use this tonight. Like, yes. That's an impromptu one that I didn't even, that wasn't part of the original set I was gonna show y'all. But it worked out. Okay. The restaurant across the street from our house is having a special Halloween dinner. Oh, what are they gonna serve? That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. Thank you, Jonathan. I didn't know. I was like, is it a thing? Is it not? Because here's the thing, Christmas is a Christian holiday, so naturally celebrated. So is, well, New Year's is not a religious holiday, but um, it's generally recognized. But they do celebrate like Valentine's Day and Easter, and I guess those are kind of. No, no, Easter is a religious holiday. Saint Valentine, I suppose, could be. I don't know. So it's really it's kind of like, I don't know. You don't know until you go somewhere else, really, or Google it. Yeah, lunacy. That's another good word. I know it's not. I know it's not a popular one, but it's a good one. It's a good classic. Now, you know what's funny about autocorrect is that my mind like will fill in what you're probably intending on saying anyway, if that makes sense. Like I'll read something and then until somebody says, "Oh," if they put a little asterisk and then put the correct spelling. I didn't even know. It's like my brain registered what you had intended. No worries. Let's see. Yeah, I wondered about Europe, and I wonder about Canada too. Like they're our neighbors, so I wonder what they do. I would imagine similar. I should know. Oh, I'm gonna look. Oh, we should do that. We should all look and see the old photos of Halloween costumes. I don't think I have, except for what maybe has shown up in some sort of like, I don't know. Maybe I might have seen it on something, but I'm gonna look it up. Thank you for mentioning that. I'm gonna star that. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. No worries. Enjoy your haircut. I brought all my decorations with me to France. I wish I would have brought my holiday, like my Christmas decorations. We end up donating them, selling them, just giving them away. And I wish I would have brought some here because I paid good money for them. And now I'm in this place where I want to start decorating. Finally, I want to start decorating and getting all into the seasonal things of it all. But yeah, I wish I would have brought them. Maybe I will. When I go back to the US, I'm going to time it where I can go back and hit up the sales of all the holiday decorations and stuff like that. But now I hear it's been slim pickings. It's not like it used to be back in the day where they're like, okay, it's after Halloween and everything goes in super clearance and then it lingers around for a while and you get a chance to kind of look through your favorite stuff and get it for super cheap. It kind of changed after the pandemic from what I remember being there. So we'll see, but I'm still going to bring back some decorations when I go back. I'm going to put it on my list of things to do. Yeah, I want to check it out. Candy bars, what? $2.29. Good Lord. In Oregon near me, and we don't have sales tax. Yikes. Oh, I can only imagine how much a candy bar is now in California. I remember when candy bars, I used to love like York peppermint patties and like whatchamacallits and Twix. I'm trying to think what else. Anyways, yum. Oh, and Kit Kats. And they'd be like 45 cents a pack. Yeah. And then progressively they got more and more expensive and bigger and bigger. Robin's Reflections. Hello, how are you? Welcome, welcome. I'm happy you're here. I'm all saying it all official. Robin's Reflections because it's got that presence. I try to keep my light on as late as I can and give bunches of candy for the latecomers because I used to be a latecomer. Me too. I was a latecomer as well, whose mom got off late and we couldn't go. Wasn't it just like, oh, you're looking out the window and it's getting darker and darker and you're like, come on, we're missing out all the good candy. So I completely understand. And I was a mom latecomer myself. I get off work at like just as right before it gets dark. I got hip towards the end of my boys' trick-or-treating years. I started asking for the afternoon off. But before that, I didn't think that was an option. I just would work until I got off, and then I'm hightailing it. And you got to be super safe because there's trick-or-treaters everywhere. So you can't be hightailing it down the street trying to make it to your kids and you hit somebody else's child. Like you can't do that. So it was like, ah. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. And so it's the soft spot for sure. And I didn't even mind. I know this is gonna sound weird. I didn't even mind like when adults be like, "Can I have some too?" Yeah, of course you can. Trick or treating is for the kids and the kids at heart. But some people are like, "Nope, only little children can get candy." And I wasn't that house. That wasn't how we worked. They are serving orange food at the French restaurant for Halloween. Pumpkin soup, beef with sweet potato fries. Orange. Is that it? Oh, and carrot cake sounds delicious. I love carrot cake. But what is profiteroles? What's that? What's that? I'm curious. Sounds all good to me. Oh, that sounds really good. My neighborhood has Halloween decorations contest with the first, second place prizes. Ah, that's so much fun. Oh, y'all really get into it. Do we have, we didn't have contests, but we have, the Facebook pages or Facebook groups, and people are like, did you check out, uh, you know, Oak Hollow Way, and so such and such drive? Oh my goodness, that house is decked out. So you have like that going on. You have that. Yeah, I know, right? We're like, we missed you coming in. Yeah, don't it sound delicious? Yes. Yep, I'm the same. So I'm like, if you're into it, I'm into it. And I may or may not have a costume on. Usually I try to throw like a little witch's hat and like a wig or something. I try to do something or a little headband with some little ding, like some just to let them know I am celebrating with you all just in a very small way. Okay, thank you. I was wondering. I was like, what are those? Everything sounds amazing. Everything sounds really good. So now I'm looking at, okay, we skipped around. I was going to show you all Oracle first. Okay, next up is the next Oracle. Where are you? Okay. The Literary Witches Oracle, which you can use around. I have know folks who uses this deck year round, but for me, I don't know, it just feels right to use it this time of year. It's a 70 card deck and guidebook. Oh, it's so sweet. I am I'm such a sucker for mass market decks that they go the little extra mile to make it all like nice and like sweet. You know, the packaging, just like that. Little ribbon, cute little guidebook. Just so cute. But you really could use this deck year round. It's seasonless, but I'm planning on digging into it. I wanted to really go deep with my depth year. That's the thing that I didn't really talk about at the start, because usually I like to do like an update of my low buy year and what's going on and what I'm thinking about. I ended up buying a deck. I bought the Curious Travels Tarot indie version because it's still available in US Games. Has the mass market. I may even still get the US Games, because what I tend to do is I'll get the indie version. I like it, love it, woohoo. And then I don't want to mess it up, so I end up getting the mass market, like I did with Lightseers Tarot. And now I don't hardly use Lightseers anymore. Y'all remember how much I loved it? I was like, oh my gosh. Here's the backs. I was in love. Now they have these cards that almost feels Lenormandy to me, and you can make your own separate little decks, like 2 decks in one with this Literary Witches deal. We have Hedgehog. This is so cool. I like that. This I really like. Sometimes I just need one symbol. Emily Dickinson, The Soul. The guidebook is good. It's decent, you know. So you could use this as a deck to be very introspective to go within, but I've seen people use this for readings for others, like people who do readings on YouTube, for example. I'm like, oh, wow. For me, I just use it introspectively, like I'm writing, journaling with the messages. I only pull like a couple of cards, but I've been thinking about different ways of how to work with this deck, or if I can work differently with it. If you have this deck, how do you work with it? This is Flannery O'Connor, Humanity. Let's see. It's just a whole mood and vibe too. I really appreciate the aesthetics of this deck. This works for me. Oh, Janet Frame, Belonging. So my depth here, I bought that deck. Great. I'm excited about it. I've been wanting it for a long time. So it's worked out. But what I was thinking about with my depth year is I haven't really gone deep with the current decks. I've done good sticking to my little $250 budget. Yay, I've been very disciplined. I've got $55 remaining from my $250 budget for this year. But part of a depth year is to go deeper with the decks. And so I've been kicking around having a very, very informal tarot or oracle study where we just get together and throw cards. People can come up with me, whether we do it via Zoom or via StreamYard, like YouTube, and just work with the deck spreads, very low key. But I want to go deeper because that's part of it. Here's Peacock. And so you've got the guidebook. Let's see. And so for this section of cards, it's got keywords, but it doesn't have like the meanings for these, but you don't need that. But the actual like background information for these more fully illustrated cards with the literary witches, they have more meatier descriptions. So I plan to work with that, this deck. One is going to be more easier to dive right into, this one, to even do with client readings. But this one is going to take a little more work to get to know. And that's okay. That's all right. You don't always have to like fall right in love. You can take your time falling in love. You can take your time. I like this deck. Okay. sit you over here. Hello, friend. Thank you for joining. How are you doing, Carolyn? I'm happy you're here. I am happy you're here. Aloha. Thank you for joining, Jonathan. It was so much fun. We got to hang out again soon. All right. Same. Kim, a hat, headband totally counts. It sure does. That's it. You might even catch me wearing a orange top and some black jeans. You might catch me really going out, but just know I'm a supporter. Like, that's it. Now, I live for folks who spend months creating their costumes. I worked at a company where we would go like the individual departments and the units within the departments, we would have whole like offices, like, with cubicles all decorated. We have like full on like a castle over here and some kind of like cutesy diner something over here, and all the members of that unit would be dressed up. Like, we went all out. The busy worker bees section over here with their hive, that kind of energy. It was, and then there's a guy who won the costume contest every single year because he would start working on his costume usually a few months after like the so like in December following Halloween in October. And he just had, I'm going to see if I can find pictures and I'll share them with you. He went all out. Like, he could be a costume set designer. I don't know, but it was like he like that should have been the direction he went in, but he ended up like being like a computer, like an analyst, like an engineer type of person. Like, but he had King of Wands all over him. King of Wands. Oh my goodness. Let's see. That deck led me into filling a library shelf with short story anthologies. Yes. Actually, I had an anthology that is at my parents' house. I'm going to probably bring it back to have here in my little tiny library of different women writers throughout the years, California-based writers. So contemporary and like the greats, the legends. And I'm going to bring those books back, but it does inspire a opening up of reading and exploring who are these people? Who are they as human beings and as authors and writers? And I think some of them were activists. Who are they? Once it invites you to want to learn more. Okay, why is my thing not working? There we go. Yes, decks are fun. So yeah, my depth here, I want to go deeper. That's what I was going to say. Like, I'm doing good on budget, although there's an Oracle deck that's going to blow me right over my budget. Like, I'm going to be like $15 over my over my budget, but we're going to wait and see if I really am going to get it. I've even done a spread on it, like to ask, is it one that is a good deck to add? And it is. So I may be over my budget, my $250 annual budget. We'll see. If I can commit to going deeper with the deck, then I can definitely justify adding that new deck to my collection. Do you all consider yourselves deck collectors? Do you collect decks, or do you consider yourself a reader who has many working decks, or you're like, I'm just a reader, I'm not even into decks like that? Like, like there's some people who are like, I have one or two decks and that's it. I wouldn't even ever classify myself as a collector. And so I'm just kind of curious to know, where do you fall on the spectrum? Because I've been thinking about it. I'm like, I don't really add a lot of new decks to my collection each year anymore. Am I still a collector because I have a collection? Sometimes I add to it. Maybe I'm not an active collector, but I'm certainly a reader. So I don't know, just something I ponder. My mom made me so many awesome costumes. Oh, that's so cool. Like homemade, really good costumes are the best. We weren't that crap. Like one year, I think I talked about this on the channel last year. I think we didn't have a lot of money, and so my mom made me like little Sherlock Holmes because she had like this cape and a little hat that looks kind of like the Sherlock Holmes hat, and my dad had a magnifying glass, and so it'd be something like that. We throw it all together, right? We just make it work, and then it would be store bought costumes. So we didn't, and that was, it is what it is. But I remember me being Sherlock Holmes. I remember. I was like, I'm going to be the only kid who doesn't have a store bought costume or doesn't have a really cool costume. And that probably hurt my mom's feelings. And I probably shouldn't have said it. But then I remember it now, and I'm super old now. Okay, she did something right. What oracle deck is it? Are you talking about this one, the Literary Witches Oracle? And then I was talking about this one earlier, the Halloween Oracle. Yeah, those are decks I'm talking about. Less a collector, more a curator. Ooh, I like that. I like that better. I think that feels more, that resonates more. Curator, because I don't know, but I still see people who are actively still obtaining decks, very much collectively collecting, like they doing that. That's what they're on. Let's see. I collect. Oh, Carolyn says I collect, and you're a reader, but I use all my decks. I can't take them with me at the end of life, so I love using them. Thank you for sharing that. That is it right there. It's like, I want to use them now. I want to go deeper. There is no need for me to continue to add. A want, maybe, but not a need. Donna says, I guess I'm a collector, but I prefer to add decks that I intend to read with. Me too. That's my rule of thumb. I tend to collect lots of anything that I love. Oh, yeah. That's me and crystals. I'm going to publish a video soon, you all. Like, I finally got around to like switching out the reading tablecloth and dusting all and cleaning all of my crystals. And I'm like, dang, I got hella crystals and I have to clean them all and take care of this collection. And I'm like, how do I feel about that? Do I still love doing it? And I was like, yeah. So there will be a video coming probably next week where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a whole production, but I live for it. But once you get tired of it, you like, if I'm moving to another country or moving back to the US at some point, the idea of trying to move my collection, my deck collection back, really like just takes the wind out of my sails. I don't want to do it. Oh, I hear you. I used to collect so many indie and mass market art lover, and I used to read. Okay, so you used to read. Nice. See? And I just was wanting to get a pulse to and where we're all at, where our interests are with that. But yeah, I love art, and I love different types of art styles to get into. And so accessible way to get into art, different types of art, is yes, through decks. Because they're little. They're easy. They're more easier to store than hanging a bunch of artwork on your walls, I think. Oh, the one I'm wanting to buy. Thank you for asking. Okay. I should show you all. No, I'll just tell you. It's the Practical Self-Care Oracle by Maruka X on Etsy. And it's like $65. $65. And I'm like, that's going to wipe out my little budget that I carved out for decks this year for sure. And it's going to take, and it's like, I used to not bat an eye spending a lot more than that on my collection on adding decks. But now I don't want to. But I do plan on working with that deck with client readings and readings for myself. So I could definitely justify like this would be a working deck for client readings. It's the Practical Self-Care Oracle by Maruka X. I have a few, I was gifted a couple of her decks, but this is the one I bought. It's the Career and Money Oracle. It's 100, I think 110 cards. So I really like those decks, and they're great for working decks. So, you know, but then there's part of me is like, no, I kind of want to buy like a tarot deck. I want to get into like the Yuletide or something. Hold on, my dog is barking. 1 second. She doesn't like when we leave her. My husband just went to the store. She like, don't go. Don't leave me. Yes, they all need to be decks I will read with. Exactly. Because I don't have a lot of room, and nor do I could make room in here. I could add shelves on the walls and whatnot and totally make room for a lot more decks, but I don't want to. I do want to spend probably 2025. And let me brace myself, because last time I was like, I'm going to do a depth year in 2020. And I said that in 2019, and then all hell broke loose with the pandemic in 2020. And it's like, so, but 2025, I want to go deeper with the decks I have. So yes, I've shrunk my budget down considerably that I used to spend on decks on a consistent, regular basis. But now it's time to go deeper. And we can do that together. Yes, a holiday sale would be amazing and impossible. That is possible. So I'm going to wait. My spirit says pause, wait. No need to rush. And that could be because there's a sale coming. And then it's going to make me fall right at budget, right? That'd be amazing. Let's see. Donna says, I was averaging 2 decks a month the first part of the year. Then I didn't buy any in August and September. Great job. Now I just bought the mythology. Oh, okay. I'm going to butcher the name. Mythologia? Can't say it. But I've seen it, though. I know which one you're talking about. Vinica Tarot with a copy of the Kabbalah. Sorry. Okay. No, don't worry about your typing. Don't worry. And I know the decks. I know what you're speaking of. So I'm like, no worries. Okay. So I think that's it for the Oracle. Let me show you all. Yeah. Let me show you all. And there's plenty more I have that could be Halloween inspired. But these are the ones. I don't want to overwhelm myself. I did go a little crazy with picking up decks to show you all. Now, the first is the Black Tarot. Now, this deck feels like it's another all seasonal deck, but I think it's the dark plum and the deep orange on the back. I think the colors are that's what's having me feel like it would be a great early, like autumn deck. Another little gem of a box, like by a mass market producer. Seems like a smaller press though. RP Studio. I don't think I have any other decks. It says an Ancestral Awakening guidebook. I also have the journal up on the shelf. I'm not going to get it. But look at this. It's got a tug box. Some people would be like, that's extra. You don't need all that, but I like it. And I really think it's simply because of the color palette. That's what I'm into. Let me start in the middle. Now, it's not going to like be something I can really use at this point with clients. I think I've used it once or twice with client readings. It was fine. Here's the card backs. But it's a little dark and it's a little difficult to pick up on camera. So I have to figure out a way of how to photograph the cards. But I really like the deck. I really do. Here's Ace of Wands. This is a different kind of Ace of Wands. That's the other thing too, is that I've heard some people saying, like for those who are beginners, this may not be the deck for them. I don't always get into the whole thing of like, this is a great beginner deck. The only beginner decks I recommend are ones with keywords. You'd be surprised where people start on their journey of tarot, and you'd be like, you're going to use that deck? That deck is intense. Only the most seasoned readers read with it. I don't, I love the Daughter of Wands. She's traveling. Got her suitcase. Now these are light and would pick up quite well on camera. And it doesn't detract me from using this deck because I use it primarily for readings for myself or readings for people who are here in person. The Star. But you see how dark that is? Oh, Son of Baskets. I believe it's Knight of Cups. Isn't that the sweetest little card? Oh my goodness. World. It's got a great guidebook. Empress is also very autumnish colors. Here's the Devil. Okay. Oh, I love the Six of Coins. Really nice deck. Really, really nice deck. So, isn't it the cutest, Elle, the bicycle? Oh my gosh. I was like, that is the sweet. Like, it could be a cute little lover's card too. Or Two of Cups. Totally could be a Two of Cups as well. Totally. Yes. Elle says, I noticed over the years I've become more intentional in purchasing decks. Me too. Very intentional. And we probably are also using discernment. I think as we evolve and get, more like our tastes become more refined in what we're collecting in, it probably is a natural thing to be more intentional. Although some people, maybe not so much. I'm not saying also, and I'm not going to say that other people aren't intentional. They're probably very intentional, but just, I don't know. I'm personally at a space where I'm like, no, I do really love going deeper. I love when we used to all get together and do like our tarot studies together, because it was like, oh, I'm really connecting with the deck. And when I go to use that deck now, it just sings because we spent so much time working with it together, right? Ah, it's based on Finnish folklore. That's right. I think I did add that. I may have added it to my wish list. That's why I know you reminded me about it being based on Finnish folklore. And I was like, I don't think I have a Finnish folklore deck in my collection. I do too. And oddly, decks I wasn't drawn to originally before, now I am. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And that's why I think I need to turn my attention to my collection, because look, just today, you all helped direct me to this one. I was like, oh, this is, one day I'm going to be called to use it. And that does happen. One day I do end up being called to use the deck. Some people say, oh, that's just a reason to hoard decks for extra longer than you need to. I don't necessarily ascribe to that for every single person's situation. So, yeah. I love group tarot activities. I think they're fun and it helps you to like see other people's interpretations and get excited about working with the deck and hearing why other people are excited. Fun. Yeah. It's fun. Let's see what else I got on my list. Oh, this one comes out every year around this time, every single year. I wonder if you can guess. This one comes out every single year on my reading table. I love it. It is the Bohemian Gothic Tarot, 3rd edition. I love this deck so much. And I have the Do I? Yes, I do. The compendium, that's how you say it. I'll just call it the little extra book. Yeah, I have this. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. This is one of my favorites. And it probably surprises people that it's one of my favorite decks. It is a whole mood. Just the color palette, just the pops of the red. Just so the shadows. Look at this Two of Cups. You know, I know it's not for everybody, but I really am drawn to this deck. And I use it throughout the year, but more I found that over the years of having it, I've used it usually this time of year. And I've always mentioned to you all that my oldest son, who's like me, he's an Aquarius like I am. And well, you know, astrology, I don't know how much that weighs into it. Maybe because he's my oldest child and most like me. But he wants, when I read the cards for him, he wants me to use this deck. So I do. He can read the cards too. He's my only child that is into the cards. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Again, that strong pop of red, blood red. So good. I think there's two different lovers in here. Here's one of them. Yeah, I love this thing. I love it. Oof. 8 of Wands. Oh. Anyways, all right. Moving along. So the Bohemian Gothic always comes out this time of year. It sometimes comes out, and sometimes I have people actually ask me if I can use it. That's rare, but it does. Again, it's happened. And I don't usually have special requested decks. Like, can you use this deck? Usually my clients are like, you pick the deck, and I like it that way. But those who are into collecting decks and know I have it, they're like, can you use that one? Is that okay? I'm like, yes. Yes. It's A-okay. The next deck I want to talk about. Where are you? Where the hell are you? Okay. Now, this one. This one, only because it's on theme and because I do like it, but I always forget I have it. It's in this cute little bag. Because I'm into little tarot. We talked about this last time we were together. Tarot outfit. Like, this is my little tarot outfit, but it is the Tarot of Haunted House. It's a Lo Scarabeo. I had to do something about the tug box, hence why it's in this little bag. And this is why I forget I have it. I don't realize I have it until I see somebody's YouTube video or somebody using this deck. I'm like, oh, that's right. I have that deck. And then I go and bust it out and use it. The strangest thing is I use it for when I watch documentaries, like series or like true crime stuff. And then I like use it and like try to predict what's going to happen. So I like using this deck for that purpose. So strange, I know, but whatever. Wheel of Fortune. Knight of Pentacles. Isn't this pretty? I always forget about this. Like, I think I might just have to keep it on the reading table so I don't forget, because it is in this little bag. And then I'm like, I don't even know what's in here. And then I'm like, oh, that's right. That's right. Ooh, look at the lovers. Look, you see that? Look off in the distance over here. It's a reflection in the mirror. You know how you have the vanity mirror with the dressers? And so it's reflecting back that somebody's staring at them. I thought about using it for like the mysterious type of readings, but when I would use it, it didn't, I don't know. For some reason, it just was like, I didn't feel at home using this deck for that purpose yet. That could change. That could change. Bye, Carolyn. I saw that you're leaving. I'll chat with you later. Here's the Four of Swords. Okay. So, yes. Let me do this. And then I just have a couple more. We won't stay too long, but yeah. And I'll run through really quickly what I have for my favorites for September. Some of them are not of like no surprise to you. The last deck I want to talk about is the Raven's Prophecy Tarot. I know that there's a podcast on this. I know that there's like a wealth of information about how to work with it. And I never really got a chance to get to know it. And I've always associated this deck with this time of year. I do want to get to know it better. And one of the things that draws me to the Raven's Prophecy Tarot is the simplicity of the symbols. Now, some people cut or trim the orange. And I thought about practicing with trimming this deck, but I was like, and it looks really good trimmed. It really does. If you see other people's Raven's Prophecy Tarot. But I also like the borders. I am loving, oh, and I love the cardstock too. I am loving the Page of Coins, that little, sprout in the little terracotta pot. Here's the Queen of Coins. Queen of Swords. Wow, that ripple effect. Interesting. Ten of Wands. Okay, again, I didn't realize I had, this is another animal deck. I always go around, I don't really have any animal tarot decks. And then I'm like, in just this one video, there's like several. Two of Cups. That's sweet. Six of Swords. Eight of Coins. I think I did a deck flip through. Any of the Queen of Wands, any of the decks I mentioned today, I'll be sure to add to the description box if I've done a full flip through or something with it. There's another one. Seven of Swords. Okay. All right. We'll stop there. But yeah, I want to get to know a few of these decks a bit more. And I feel like because they are vibing with the season, I'll be more apt to bust them out. And I am thinking I need to leave a couple of, like, I need to be very intentional about leaving them on my reading table so I see them. Otherwise, out of sight, out of mind. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. That's it. Now, switching gears, September. I started thinking about like the decks that I'm really always called to use. And some of them that I'll be talking about in this next little short segment is my ride or die decks. These are the decks that if I didn't have anything else, I'd be just fine with, and I can work with them and be A-okay. So I want to share with those what they were. Let's start with Oracle. Where are you? Hold on. Sorry, you all. They're behind the computer. Okay. Now, clearly, my list could go on and on for ride or die decks. I think I would have a good solid 10 for Oracle, 10 for Tarot, maybe even more, maybe like 15. But for this past month, I've had a strong appreciation for these particular decks. So I talk about this one all the time, and this should be a sign to those who are in the market for a new deck, a new Oracle deck. And I'm letting you know, like, whether you read for people or not, this one just works for me. Readings for myself, readings for others, doesn't matter. That's the power of surrender. I've gone through several copies, several. This one has surprised me of how long and sturdy it's been holding on. I'm very happy about that. But some people, like I said, they don't like the writing and text, but I do, because usually what a client can do is they can zone in on this message and work with it. You don't have to interpret the reading or the cards exactly verbatim for what's being said here. And I just really like it. I just was so filled with appreciation because I've used it almost on every private client reading as like a closing oracle message. Or if somebody's like, oh, can you just pull a card for me? I'll pull like from here. Surrender resentment. Surrender to setting limits. So when people are like, oh, what? I'm new to doing readings. Like, I want to get an oracle deck. What would you recommend? I'm probably going to recommend the power of surrender. That's what I'm probably going to recommend. So there. Next one I want to talk about is, where are you? Oh, there you are. You all know that I love this deck so much. You've seen me use it for many years. I think one of my first videos ever on the channel, one of my oldest videos, is doing the unboxing or flip through of this deck, the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. I etched it in black, but it's fading. I need to re-edge it. I love this deck so much. And I know I use it primarily on the channel for mysterious type readings, but I've done many of readings that are just everyday type of readings with it. And it's just fine. It really is. And I just to say, I love this one so much that I got the Bloody Hell edition. And I use this one from time to time. I take a break and use it. And sometimes what I'll do is like, whichever has the highest number is the one I'm going to use in a reading. So sometimes this one will win out, and then most of the time this one wins out. So that's what it is, and I love it. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I know, but it's my cup of tea. And some people be like, how can you get so much from it? Because the keywords that the creator, Patrick Valenza, came up with, when you look at those and then you start to like go into your intuition and into your mind's eye of what the cards is saying, it's actually a rich reading experience. It's like brilliant in how simplistic it is with just its symbol, its keyword. And then it unlocks all these different doors in your intuition. Yeah. So, yeah, this one probably surprises some people, but doesn't surprise others who've been with my channel for a long time. Yeah. So that's the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. This is another ride or die. This would be, and people still ask about this deck from time to time. Like, what is that little deck you're using there? And then I get to tell them and profess my love for it. It's Garbax. Yeah. And then the last one, where are you? I have so many decks on my table. It's ridiculous. Just ridiculous. So I do mysterious type of readings on and off, like the camera, on and off the channel. And so it would be my deck. If I have different decks or sets of decks for different types of readings. And so for my mystery mystic readings, this is all I would really need, I believe. I wouldn't need all the others. I just enjoy all the others. I am, I guess, a collector at heart, but my deck. I won't go through a full flip through because I've done 2 videos on it. But if we're talking about decks that, like, if I had no other decks but these few that I'm mentioning right now, that would be fine. I can make it work. I can make it work. This is so big, I could like make little mini decks out of it. So there's that too. Now I'm going to talk about the tarot real fast. To that end, this one also might surprise folks. A lot of people will be like, well, where's the light seers? I put the light seers on the shelf and compel myself to start working with other decks this year because I was like loving it, loving it, loving it. And I felt I needed a change. My readings needed to change. That's what needed to happen. This deck has always been in the background ever since I got it or added it to my collection. When was it produced? Whenever it was published on US Games is when I got it. I don't even know. I'll look. Oh, 2018. I've had it a long time. And now I'm using it for a specific purpose, the mysterious types of readings. But it's a good deck. I used it for the Titan Submersible reading I did on the channel. And I was surprised by how much it spoke to different things and aspects of the reading. So I just was like, okay. And you can use it in love readings. Yes, you can. But there are some affronting cards in here that are very difficult for some people to see. So I'm not gonna I gotta give a warning when I come across them. There's 10 of fire, 10 of wands. The burdens that are being placed on that, was it a cheetah or a leopard? I don't know the difference. 4 of earth. 5 of earth. So this is one that's getting a little it's getting a little scary. The high priestess. The next one is a trigger warning. Okay. The devil. The star. I like this color of the deck. I don't have really a lot of tarot decks that are this coloring. Here's 8 of water. I really like it. And every time I read with it, it's like, wow, it gives me new perspectives of the meanings of the cards. I don't know. It's just, this is 3 of earth. Another trigger warning. Close your eyes. 3 of air, 3 of swords. Some people can't see intravenous, needle usage in their arms. Like my dad is very, very squeamish of like needles and things. And some people are like, I can't see that. There's other ones in here that are like, I love this one, that are like, yikes. Like the 9 of air is quite a bit much. And I think the 10 of air. So if you can stomach it, this is a great deck. Oh, yeah, I won't even show y'all. It's best. We're just gonna move on. You can see the full flip through. I'm pretty sure I did a unboxing some years ago. Don't judge the video quality and stuff. I was just starting out, but I have a full flip through of this one. Okay. And we're almost done, friends. The Slow Tarot, I put up the Super Lunaris finally. I put it in this box and I was like, I'm going to take a break. I love it. I'll come back to it. But oh my goodness, as soon as I got the Slow Tarot on the table, like the moment I did a reading with it, I was like, I'm at home. And this is another ride or die deck for me. It's like I can pick right up and use it. Here's the star. I like no nonsense decks too, Adam, for sure. I really, really love this deck. And I've had it for years. This is another one I've had for years. And it's held up nicely for as many readings I've done with it. I pulled it out like what, a week or two, maybe a week and a half ago. And I've used it multiple times, like for different client readings in that window of time. There's 2 different world cards. That's one of them. Four of Coins. Fine art. King of Wands. And yeah, stuff there. Definitely love this deck. If, you know, it's always going to be in like my top 5, my short list of top decks of like all time for me. And that's for readability, the beauty of it. Like, I don't know, just, yeah, that's right. And last but not least, this is not a ride or die one. It's not a ride or die. Mystic Palette Tarot, Tarot Marchetti. I just was using this on a few occasions this past month in September, and I enjoyed it. The only thing I don't really enjoy is the size of it. But it's a hair smaller. And so there you go. Ace of Pentacles. The Mystic Palette Tarot. But yeah, it's a hair much in size. And because it's the cardstock is, not so slippery, it's a little difficult to shuffle, and I don't have small hands. Like this. But the readings were spot on. It was lovely to work with, and it was like, oh yeah, this is feeling very autumny as well to me, this color palette. So we're gonna bust it out on a few more occasions. Maybe I'll use it in readings for like on YouTube when I'm doing collab reading sessions with other folks, either on their channel or on my channel. So that's it. That was what I was loving on in September. So we did a massive go through of decks. What we're planning to work on with in the season, this season that we're in, and then also the decks that I was loving on in September. What decks were you loving on in September? And let me know what decks you planning to work with, whether you're watching the replay later and you leave a comment. Let me see. Let me go to the comments. I didn't see your comment till now. Yes, I love this deck. You heard me gush all about it. I absolutely love the Slow Tarot. It is one of my all-time favorite decks. I go back to it all the time. So I love it. Is that the edition without the gold on the fronts? Let's see. Ooh, which deck? Which deck, Donna? I looked at so many decks and I forgot. This is why I guess I need to read the chat in real time. I don't have the Slow Tarot. but it catches my eye when I see it on other people's readings. It's beautiful, but it's also a really great reader. And it's a well-rounder deck that I can use with all types of readings. All types. Every single type of reading I'm drawn to do, I can use that deck, and I have used it, and it delivers. All right, friends. Chat with you later. Oh, yes. I'm going to be working with the Raven's Prophecy also at this time of year, right? I think there's something just lovely about the simple symbol. Like I'm looking at it, the rose with the thorns. And I don't know, it's akin to pip decks, right? It almost feels like a pip deck, but it's illustrated. It dances between a fully illustrated and a pip, and I like it. Yeah. Mildred Payne looks so creepy and cute, right? It is. It's both. It's creepy and it's cute. And I'm here for it. I'm here for the creep and I'm here for the cute. That's what I'll say. Love, love, love New Era Elements. You and I share in our love for this deck. What a powerhouse, grimy, gritty dynamo. I know. Oh my gosh. I will never forget when it first came out. People were like, oh, it's so like you, not everybody would be drawn to it, but those who have it I think they tend to love it. Like I do, like you do, Adam. It's no nonsense. For real, for real. It's really modern with some of the themes. You're like, yikes. Like the drug use one. I mean, it's pretty modern issues, right? The devil card. Oh, the Bohemian Gothic. Yes, yes, yes. So it does not, yeah, it doesn't have the like gold touches. I don't know with the Bohemian Gothic if it is still available. I know they have the latest edition. I don't even know what edition they're on now. I just know that I really like the third edition, the backs. I was kind of picky about that because they have different card backs from edition to edition. And that's the one I settled on. Yes, thank you. Thank you, friends. I just want to thank you all so much for spending your Thursday afternoon with me and going along with this journey about reminiscing on Halloween and the holidays and what decks you're into and what decks you plan to get into. This was so much fun. Join me next week. I have a scheduled live stream for the same time, same day, maybe a little bit earlier. But we're going to be doing a deck collecting philosophy spread together. I created a 2 spreads not last year, 2020, 4 years ago. And it's exploring shadow around your deck collecting and where are you at now with your deck collecting and seeing what the cards have to say. So we're going to do that together because I'm feeling called to do a revised one. And I want to take you on the journey. If you all need help with me interpreting the cards that come up for you when we do the spread, that's great. You can put it in the chat or you can even come up and share with us if I drop the link, right? So join me. There's going to be more live streams coming. We're going to be doing more hangouts and chatting about all the things that are card related, card adjacent. Okay, so you think they made a mistake adding that gold? Seems very hard for people to make out the details. Yeah, because I think I saw the gold, and that's why I was like, oh, I'm grateful for what I got. I didn't need all the extra. Sometimes it can be too much for the eye. Like you said, it muddies out the details, and you want to see those details, those little nuanced symbolism moments happening in a card. And if they're kind of obscured with something pretty, but you can't really interpret it, well, I don't know. I'm sure it's lovely. Yeah. Take care, everybody. I'll see you all around. Have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out and subscribe. Bye, friends.